Hey, Black Barn Social Club, God bless America. I'm going to try to blast through this in about 5 minutes, 7-8 minutes, which you guys know is going to be tough because once I get going, I just keep going. You ever hear that saying, you should never judge a book by its cover? I've tried this a few times and I've deleted and re-recorded because I'm trying to talk about this thing I'm going to do. These are my Parkhurst Allen Brown Stitchdown boots. I bought these based off of a photo that I saw on Instagram. The gentleman had worn them for about 4 or 5 months, had walked countless towns in Europe, and they were patinaed so. I mean, they were so gorgeous that I jumped all over them. And once I got them, I did what I typically do with a Parkhurst boot. I kind of judged it as a dress boot based on how it feels in hand. I kind of discounted it. I mean, you guys know I have a boatload of Trumans and Red Wings and you know, various others, Grant Stones and just all kinds of stuff. But you get to a point where you're holding a boot in hand, and you guys know what I'm talking about. You're holding a boot in hand. You can, with the naked eye, you can see differences, and I just discounted it as a dress boot, and I put it up for sale. I wore it a few times. I put it up for sale on eBay because in my mind, if I'm going to have a boot, a waxed flesh boot that's going to be able to go the distance, then, well, that's what I've got my Java waxed flesh for. You know, same leather. It's just a different color. And the more I thought about it, and honestly, as time went on, the boots did not sell on eBay. And I'm stubborn, so I ignored a handful of lowball offers, and then I eventually get to that place where I'm going, I'd rather throw them away than give them away. And I know that doesn't make sense, but somebody out there understands what I'm saying. So I'm sitting there this morning in the Freedom Parlor, and I'm getting ready to put my boots on for the day. And I look at these again, and I go, why would I judge a book by its cover? I genuinely don't know. I mean, I know the materials are thinner. We've talked about that. I know the midsole's a little bit thinner. We've talked about that. I know that the Commando lug sole, I know it's a little bit thinner. It's not as proud off the sole as a Truman boot, or as even some of Parkhurst other boots. This is a dressier last. But why am I judging a book by its cover? Why am I assuming that just because it's built this way, that it can't handle what this leather, what it's designed to handle? And then I think about some other examples of that. I mean, I think about the Alden Indies. When we all first fell in love with the Alden Indy, Harrison Ford for me, Harrison Ford was dragging them across the tracks of a tank, and it just I think sometimes we forget that back in the day, before people were overbuilding stuff, they were just making boots, and then people were wearing boots. And so in my mind, this morning I made the decision to pull these off of eBay. They weren't, like I said, they weren't selling anyway. And to try a different take on making a little bit of content here. Rather than just holding the boot up and saying, look at the boot I bought, I'm going to make myself a challenge, and I'm going to put this boot through some paces. I walked about 3.5 miles today here on the property, and I was wearing these dress boots. in the gravel. I was moving trucks. I was just doing work, kicking stuff in the mud, washing cars. I was doing stuff that I would have never worn this boot for. And I, now I've cleaned them, and I'm getting ready to go put them back in the closet. But I'm gonna get them out tomorrow, and I'm gonna start putting some wear and tear on these things. One, to see what it takes to wake up waxed flesh, because these things are ridiculous. There is no pull up. You don't see any of the creasing that I've seen in the cypresses and the oxbloods and the tobacco snakebite. I've not seen. I can't even see where its actual gouges are barely visible on this. So it's a tremendous leather. I know it's thinner. I know it's not. I'm not comparing apples to apples when it comes to the robustness of a Truman boot. But I did want to make a short video to explain why I put something up on eBay and then pulled it down, and why I posted it in the way that I posted it this morning on Instagram. But I think I caught myself judging a book by its cover, because quality-wise, I don't know that this boot can't take what I'm prepared to dish out. I don't know that I will say this. I know on day one, it's a more comfortable boot. I think that's just the physics of it. Thinner materials all around, make for a more flexible boot. Now, will I pay for that? Will it, after 6-8 hours in it, do my feet hurt? They don't. So we'll see. I just wanted to throw that out there as a perspective, and maybe start the first. I'll call this part one. Can Parkhurst take a beating? I don't know. I'll come up with something, but the gist of it is maybe I'll do 2 or 3, maybe a month apart, just to see how they're going. But I wanted to figure out a way to make some content and view these boots in a different light, because I know that Parkhurst makes a dressy boot. And I keep on saying, I've said to some of you guys before, I'd love to see what would happen if Parkhurst got in that rugged boot arena. But I just, who's to say they're not? I don't know. This one may be the one. So you guys tell me your thoughts. I'm gonna call it a day, because it has been a day. So you guys be blessed. Talk soon. Let me know what you think.